Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Tanya Pluckrose and her amazing cat. Hello, how are
Yes,
you doing?
hello. Meet Serafina. Serafina the
Oh,
Siamese. Say hello. Right? Serafina the Siamese has joined us as well today. She has a few words to say as well. Hello, Caroline.
hi,
Mm.
I'm so happy you are here. And I read something about you, marvelous things. For example, you are a rich results thinking mindset
Mm-hmm.
coach, and you
Mm-hmm.
moved to the US in 2015 because of love. And my
I
question
did.
is, why else? And then you experienced a career. You helped the with the art of selling to women, supporting them in attracting and retaining the high value female clientele. I hope I pronounce it right. It's a
You
French
did.
word. Clientele. And but then you experienced a burnout and
Mm,
something changed within you. You came across Bob Proctor's
I
teaching,
did.
like I did as well. So we are
Yes.
colleagues from the PGI Institute, or yeah. And I would love to know more about you and
Mm.
what inspires you today.
Well, what inspires me today is that more than ever, I've discovered people are stuck. They are stuck because they are allowing outside circumstances to control their thinking. And often, many people are also stuck because they're not honoring the calling inside of them. I believe that each and every one of us has been given a divine plan for our precious lives. And if we don't honor that calling, we tend to, first of all, be a plaything to our five senses. Unfortunately, we're hijacked by our five senses all the time. We can't seem to control our thinking. And we live in a world of fear, doubt, and worry all the time, rather than living on the other side, which is well being and faith. But unless you give your mind a deftness of purpose, you give it a task, a project, an assignment to get to work on a goal for you. If you don't give your mind a task, then it will tend to live through your five senses. And so most people are conditioned to live through their five senses. Did you hear this? Did you see this? And so most people think this is reality. But I've discovered that when you start to uh, honor that desire within you and you constantly think about it, order is created in the mind. And order is heaven's first law. And if you're going to live in a heavenly state, all you need to do is give your mind a project, a deftness of purpose, and it will get busy for you, helping you manifest it into your life.
Wow, this is such a beautiful explanation. And I thought immediately about this built-in mechanism of success that we all have
Mhm.
inside us. Yeah. And who inspires you?
Well, I have to say, I have a number of thought leaders that are at the top of the list, but the person that showed up when I was in my mess, when I was the messiest I've ever been, which I've mentioned, I first moved to America. I moved here for love, but I also wanted the American dream, and that was to be an entrepreneur. And when I moved here, my first business, I didn't have any of this information. And so I was just concentrating constantly on the strategy, buying the right website designer, having fancy business cards, worrying about the marketing. But only when it all fell apart because of my thinking, out of the blue, the late legendary Bob Proctor appeared as a Facebook ad. And I often say, You know, there's no coincidences in the sense the universe is always conspiring in your favor. If only we would pause, stay in the present moment. We are being looked after all the time. And so Bob appeared, and I just started to listen to him. Really, I had nothing else left. I was broke, nearly broke. I was burnt out. I'd left my marriage. I was in a stranger's home. And I just, for the first time, listened. He said, you know, if you're not happy with your results right now, and I wasn't, he said, it's not because of all the effort you've put in. It has everything to do with what's going on inside of you. Until you shift your paradigm or your belief system, nothing's going to change on the outside. And that was a game changer for me. And so I attended one of his 3-day events, and I never looked back. Finally, everything made sense as to why I had never achieved the results I wanted for my life. And of course, you know, I just started to sign up for every program he had. And then it occurred to me, you know, Caroline, I'm not the only person who's stuck as a person doing life, but as a business owner trying to build your business. I was not the only one stuck, and I became a consultant just like you and made it my mission to help other entrepreneurs, business owners, help them stop investing in all the marketing strategies, but rather go within and change your paradigm, your belief system, and your self-image.
Yes, that's so important. And you mentioned also the importance of mindset, 95%, and strategy, 5%, right?
Yeah. We've all been conditioned that success is all about the strategy. You know, here in America, it's all about if you work really hard, you will achieve. But I've discovered that many people in America are working really hard, but they're not getting the results they want, which means something else is at play. Something else is occupying our results. If we're not getting it through the strategy, then we have to go within and look at what is going on within us, our belief system, which is really our programming that's being put inside of us, both genetically and environmentally, and also our self-image that's part of this program. You see, you can't outperform your current self-image. And I realized in order for me to be a very successful business owner, I had to become that version of myself, thinking, feeling, and seeing myself as a successful business owner now, not later when I arrive, because I was never going to arrive. And that was the game changer.
That sounds good. Okay, it's not only imagining, it is the totally embodiment part of the
Yes, yes, the internalization of this,
wow.
of this.
And how do you inspire other people to do this?
Well, I am now a consultant for the Procter Gallagher Company now, PG, and I fell in love so much with Bob's teachings, and he passed on to me an evidence-based, scientifically proven mindset system, a formula. And so I follow this formula, and it has supported me to shift my paradigm and self-image. And so this is what I help other people, other business owners, entrepreneurs. I help them with this formula. It's really that simple. It's a simple system that manifests phenomenal results. Really, it's all about just shifting the paradigm, and I do that over a period of time, and repetition. Repetition is the key for shifting the paradigm, the program, and the self-image.
Yes, absolutely. We know this also from the book Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
Bob studied it 61 years of his life, and from the chapter about autosuggestion.
He
Yes.
did, correct.
I love that so much.
Actually, yesterday I heard from a thought leader of Think and Grow Rich. He said, when you start reading this book or just having this book around you, he said the vibration of the book
Vibration. Oh, there you are. The vibration was so high.
It was. Yes. And so I have a copy of the book, and I realized, look, if it made Bob go from, he was a fireman working in a fire station. He was only earning $4,000 a year, and he owed $6,000. And within a year, he started to read this book, and he left being a fireman. And suddenly, within a year, he made $175,000 acting on an idea by studying this book. And I think I know that if Bob read this book and has implemented some of the teachings into his programs, then I'm just going to do what he did. I'm just going to be an intelligent follower. That's all I need to do. Sometimes I need to be an effective leader, but with Bob, I'm just going to be an intelligent follower and do exactly what he tells me to do.
Yes. Thank you so much for the reminder and also for sharing this. It is important because the worst thing people can do is they say, I know already. And then the minds are closed, right? For the new ideas.
So true. And I think, Caroline, that's one thing is it takes courage and humility to be constant, and decision and discipline to be in the constant state of learning, that will never stop learning. And the moment you say, I know, you really are shutting yourself off from infinite intelligence, who I like to call God, from supporting you by living a very successful and glorious life. If you keep saying, I know, because we don't know. That's it. Yeah. What about you, Caroline? Tell me a little bit. Is it okay if I ask you a couple of questions during this podcast, since we do the same work, or would you prefer to continue to ask me?
Oh, I would like to be a guest in your podcast, and then you can
Okay.
ask questions.
Okay.
If you don't have your own podcast yet, I can help you to set it up.
Oh, okay. That would be great. I'd love that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Because we have limited time here,
Yes.
of course.
Yes.
So I ask my next question. It is,
Please.
what are your gifts and talents?
My gifts and talents, what I've discovered is that my intuition is switched on, spot on, and always right. And I've discovered that when I'm coaching clients with this material, whenever I get in the zone, and I always pray before I do my coaching calls, because as we just mentioned, I don't know it all, and I want God to work through me, or infinite intelligence to work with me. I'm amazed at the downloads I get from my clients that can create results for them quickly. It's amazing what comes through me that really collapses time in helping my clients have a quantum leap. So that's a gift I've discovered when I created order in my mind. I had to get the order in my mind first and get very clear with my purpose in life, definiteness of purpose, and really have a new attitude that I just want to be of service to others, that I really didn't care what people thought about the way I looked or anything, but I was just here to be an instrument of God's peace, love, and glory. And the moment I put service first, that's when my intuition heightened. And that is when I was able to serve my clients in a magnificent way.
Wow, this is so amazing what you just shared, because that reminds me of lesson 8 from Thinking into Results. Questions have answers, and if you have the question, you have already the answer
Yes,
within you.
yes, that's right.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And now my last question
Yes.
for today is, when people reach out to you, and they will after listening to this episode, do you have a special offer or services you provide with the Inspired Podcast community?
Well, I would love to offer someone, first of all, a free coaching call, because most people are most people struggle to decide, what is my definiteness of purpose? Like, what am I meant to be doing with the divine part of my life? And I'm really good, so good at helping people get to what their divine plan, their desire for the life. So I'd love to offer that to any of your listeners if they would love a call of discovery to find out what their divine plan is for their life. Oh, that would be my gift. I'd love to be of service in this way. Absolutely.
Wow, thank you so
You're
much. This
welcome.
is very, very generous. Yeah, and thank you for this interview. I'm inspired now.
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and see you in the next episode.